individually
Yeah,
record or
I'll
as a
just no. I'll put everybody on. Tina just turned off the. She just turned off the. She doesn't want to be seen. She's like, I'm out.
No, the kid is waking up. Sorry, I gotta go hide.
So that's fine. So I'm here with Tina, John, and Tom of I always goof this up because you guys have like the longest name in the world, but it's Michigan Center for Regenerative Medicine up in Rochester, right? Rochester, Michigan, right?
That's correct.
And for those of you that are basketball aficionados, you probably recognize Tom Nabity as the sixth man legend from SMU basketball. No, I'm kidding. So Tom, I'll start with you. We've been working together for the last year. Can you share with everybody like what was going on in your business a year ago? It was right when COVID was hitting. I think it's been about a year that we've been working, right at a year that we've been working together. But what was going on in your business? What were things like a year ago?
Well, we were trying to make some pretty big transitions, going from our startup office to a build out office. And as you alluded to, it was in the midst of the aftermath from in Michigan. We had a month shutdown of all outpatient surgical procedures. So our business was shut down for a month, and the clock was ticking on us, and we were trying to navigate some pretty difficult decisions. And my partner, John Santaanna, found your profile on LinkedIn. We had a call with you, and then we discussed as a team whether we thought you were the right guy or not, and made the decision to bring you in as a business consultant. Kind of our minds, it was a part-time CEO for hire, somebody who's had similar experience in an industry like ours, to help us really try to navigate and survive that rough waters that we saw coming up.
What were your revenues like a year ago? Like I know we had just gone over these numbers, but what were your revenues like in 2019?
Yeah, so 2019, we're about 50% of what we were doing in 2020. So from a gross standpoint, we were doing roughly 30 to 35,000 a month in 2019. And now we're doing roughly 60 to 80,000 a month, 2020.
Yeah, you're just shy of $1 million this last year in 2020. We obviously won't reveal the number, I know, but yeah, just shy of seven figures, right? And that was just pretty stinking good, given you were shut down how many weeks?
Right, and that's really only 11 months of revenue, not 12 months, because we were shut down for a full month.
Cool. And John, I know John and Tina are both muted, but and I'll ask you, Tom, and then if they wanted to jump in. But what would you say has been the most valuable component of us working together this last year?
Organizing our thoughts, organizing our decision-making tree, prioritizing what we need to do from a culture standpoint versus what we need to do from a revenue standpoint, and keeping that balance. It was certainly in that initial phase and of the build up of the business, and then through that time of uncertainty, those decisions need to be talked about and reevaluated on a regular basis. Having a call scheduled with you really forced us into that timeline of making a decision, reflecting on our decision, making the next decision, and having someone to bounce those ideas back and off of, who's been through a similar type of process, starting businesses, taking them through that startup phase into the not so much maintenance phase, but then the acceleration phase has been critical for us.
Cool. Tina, John, anything? Yeah, go ahead, John.
And I'm going to add on to that too. It's I think what I really appreciate about you, Matt, is you were such a big cheerleader for us. We've had some really down months and down times, and you would always cheer us on and keep us motivated and focused on the task at hand. The best part about that too is that you actually have a roadmap for us to follow. That you have a template for us to follow for success. All we have to do is kind of get out of our own way and just follow your lead and follow what you're saying. as physicians, we're used to being independent and thinking and knowing that, you know, you do a good job and things will just happen and patients will flow through the door. And but you know, as you know, in any startup business, that's not the case. And you kind of showed us how to get from, you know, point A so that people will recognize the things that we do and the value that we bring, and help us understand how to make this transition from being a startup to a profitable company happen.
Thanks. I appreciate that, John. Tina, anything you want to add?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. It was nice to have a business opinion, if you will. As healthcare workers, I think sometimes we are a little disorganized on getting this going and knowing what we want to do, but we can't quite pull it together. And you gave us that foundation. And like John said, the templates to do that. And it was really helpful. I know for me, it was a saving grace to say, this is what you need to do. This is your homework, get this done, and just give us some direction.
Thanks. So Tom, any final comment, parting words? What would you say to somebody who's considering working with me and pulling that trigger?
Yeah, don't be afraid, regardless of what phase you're in. It doesn't have to be dire circumstances to necessarily benefit from your services and your knowledge. But if you're struggling with any kind of a decision-making process, how do you take your business to the next phase or get it to a stable revenue producing, especially cash-based medicine service line? I think I'd highly recommend utilizing you and reaching out.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you very, very much. And you'll have a great 2021 without a doubt.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt.